Welcome to this video on NISM Mutual Fund Distributors module. I have designed some questions in form of mock test. This is part of the NISM series 5A. So those who are preparing for mutual funds distributors module will definitely benefit from the questions that I have prepared. But let me tell you that these questions are a little different from those MCQ structure. So you will also find it to be interesting. Let me start by telling you that these questions are on from chapter 1 of the module, and this is about types of mutual fund. So the questions that you will see in the subsequent slides will help you get an understanding about types of mutual funds. But what I have done here is that I have not put questions in MCQ forms. Rather, I have put these questions in a different way, and it's called as who am I. So basically, uh, by reading these statements, you will be able to identify, or rather you should be able to identify a type of mutual fund which this statement conveys or communicates. Okay, so let me further elaborate it. As you can see, there are 5 statements here. So when you read each of these statements, you will be able to associate them with a type of mutual fund, and that's the objective of creating this short video. So let me start by explaining it further. If you read the first statement, it says, I am a type of mutual fund which is largely close-ended but becomes open-ended at pre-specified intervals. So if you read this statement, I'm sure you will be reminded of a type of a mutual fund. What is that type of the mutual fund? That's what you need to think of. Okay, and I'm sure there is a word in the statement itself which will give you an idea about that. Let me move on to the next question, which is equally interested. I invest in shares of fundamentally strong companies that are currently undervalued in the market with the expectation of benefiting from an increase in price as market recognizes the true value. Now, as you can see here, there is a lot of emphasis on the word value, and you will find the answer hidden in that word itself. So again, like the first statement, you have to identify what is the type of fund being spoken here. Okay, so let me quickly move on to the third statement. I'm sure you are enjoying this. So this statement clearly says that I invest in only treasury bills and government securities which do not have credit risk. Now it's important to understand that government securities and treasury bills do not have credit risk because government, it is believed, does not default at least on the local currency payments. Okay, so that's the reason this type of fund is created, which invests only in the government securities. Okay, so you have to again identify which term is this. Okay, now the next statement after that is also very interesting and a little intriguing than what you saw earlier. So it says I am a variant of debt schemes that invest only in short-term debt securities. I can invest in debt securities of up to 91 days maturity. So it's very specific that first the fund is investing in debt securities, and second it is investing in securities up to 91 days maturity. So that's what is the idea of this fund, and there is a term hidden there. Now the next statement, which is also related to a debt scheme, okay, and it very clearly is mentioned that I invest in high yield government bonds and invest in securities that have a lower credit rating indicating poor credit quality. Okay, so it's very clear that there's an investment happening in high yield bond schemes, and that's where the the name is also hidden. So what is it all about? All these 5 statements have one name each. So let me just show it to you. What exactly is it? So the answer for the first question, which I'm sure you would have found with the name itself, is the interval fund. And the second one, where I categorically mentioned that there is an emphasis on the word value, that's the value fund. The third one is gilt funds, which invests in government securities and uh, treasury bills, which do not have credit risk. The fourth one is liquid fund because the time specified is 91 days. So short-term investments typically have higher liquidity. And the last one is the junk bond schemes or the mutual funds that invest in junk bonds. So having looked at 5 of them, let me also introduce 5 more for you, which is on the next slide, and I'm sure you have enjoyed this. So now let me move to the sixth one, and from 6th to 10th, just as you identified the name of the schemes in the previous slide, here also you get an opportunity to identify it. So I am a close-ended scheme which are structured to ensure that investors get their principal back irrespective of what happens to the market. Now this is very interesting, because this is a type of a fund which is focused on protecting the capital irrespective of where the market moves, and that's where lies the again the term or the type of the fund here. The next statement, I invest in a combination of assets such as equity, debt, and gold. So remember, it's a scheme which is not investing in one specific type of asset only, but it is investing in multiple types of assets. So you will again get an idea about what kind of fund is being spoken here. The next statement, which is the eighth one in the series, says I am also known as Treasury Management Fund or Cash Management Funds. So, it's very clearly indicated here as the alternative name of the funds. So you can try to associate what exactly is the nature of the fund, or the type of the fund, or the name of the fund that we are referring to here. Then comes the ninth statement, which is about I invest in debt securities issued by companies, including the PSUs. Okay, so there could be some mutual funds which will make investments in predominantly into debt securities. These debt securities can also be issued by public sector undertakings. And last one is kind of little easier. It says I'm open-ended equity scheme investing across large cap, mid cap, and small cap stocks. So what is this? Like what you did for the first 5 in the previous slide is something that you have to work here also for the next 5, which is 6 to 10. I'm sure you have been able to figure out the answer for all 5 of them, but let me reveal it for your benefit. Uh, you have the answer, which is for the 6th one. As I indicated to you, it is capital protection scheme. The 7th one is the hybrid fund, because it is making investments into different types of assets. 8th one is the ultra short term fund. 9th is the corporate bond fund, and 10th is what is called as the multi cap funds. Okay, so these are the 10 funds that you can typically refer to as the types of funds that you can utilize for the purpose of your assessment in the examination. So with this, I'm sure you would have liked this video. So I'm just requesting you that in case you have liked this video, please subscribe to my channel, and that will encourage me to come out with more videos in future. Thank you, and hope you will like my channel and come back with your questions, queries in the comment section. Thank you.